Richard, a new name to the JCT Traffic Signals Symposium exhibitor list this year, but not a new company. We've known you for years as Smart Video and Sensing. Welcome as smartmicro UK.
Thank you very much. It's as I say, it's an old face, or old faces, but a new company name. So now we're part of a bigger family. It's a lot of exciting for the future for us.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I spoke to Peter Eccleston a year ago, he talked about the smartmicro products that you were selling into the UK. So it's been, I guess, that you've been so successful marketing smartmicro and selling their products in the UK that they've decided to go full on and actually have a full presence here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the main products they were selling are the larger radars. We concentrated on the smaller ones, moving away from the highway and going on to the urban side, the urban traffic. And that was really a breakthrough for smartmicro. Although they'd done it on larger intersections, they hadn't done it on the scale that the UK operates in, with single or dual lanes approaching, and also with integrating it into the mover side. So we've really pushed up the sales of the smaller radar, the more affordable radars, and allowed smartmicro to get a keen interest in the UK market.
So what's so special about them?
About the radars, they are an all-party radar, basically. It will give you everything you need out of it. You set it up, you can put in multiple zones, up to 8, up to 32 in fact, through the actual software. You can count statistics from them, you can use them to trigger outputs into the mover set, into the scoot set, into the controllers. And we now have developed, with our partners in Ireland using Ipsum City as a back office, using the data that the radars pump out automatically. We're now feeding that back into Ipsum. That gives us statistical data, which then can be published for the customers. And there's a lot of applications, especially for the smart cities side, and bicycle and pedestrian counting. There's a lot of information there. Really came from the work that we had to do and from the COVID situation. Everybody wanted data, but it wasn't there. We had a product that could produce the data, so we formulated a package to allow that, give it to those that make the decisions, the politicians, in a nice, easy format to read, in graphical and in statistics, and allow them to then make decisions on what they wanted to do and implement in their cities.
So while you're doing what sounds really, really complicated, do you make it absolutely straightforward and intuitive for the users to actually understand all the data that the radar is throwing out?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the product itself had all of this flying out of it. And we said to ourselves, well, why are we only using a bit of it here and a bit of it there? So how can we present that and give it to the authority in a complete package, end to end? They put the product in there, it does the job for them on the street, but also the data is there available for them in their offices to present to their clients, to their customers, and to their constituents.
Smart Video and Sensing was more than smartmicro radar. You were selling other products as well. Have they all now gone and it's just smartmicro, or are you still offering a wider suite of services?
We still offer a wider suite. However, our sort of company base changed. From the video and introduction of various bits that we used to do for national highways. We've moved on now. 95% of our business is radar, but that hasn't been a decision we've made. It's been a decision that the customers have made and come to us. It's the authorities that have wanted the radar, therefore that part of our business has increased.
We all know, as a traffic signals engineer, the biggest hassle is when a loop gets broken and suddenly you're not sensing every arm of a junction. So how does the radar just make it all easier?
Well, the radar can be brought in if you've got a situation where your loops have failed. We will go in there and we will put a virtual loop over the top of that, which gives exactly the same input into the controller as the loop used to do. What the benefit of the radar is, you may just be replacing 1 or 2 loops, but you're also future-proofing that junction, that approach, if any of the other loops fail. So we can then add additional loops if they fail, either via the software and send it to the customers or those that are responsible for the actual integration of the system. or we can go up to site and we can add those extra loops. But we can future-proof that junction for you. So even if we're just replacing 1 or 2 loops because they've failed, or the ducting's failed, for instance, we can make sure that the other loops are available for you should you want to then activate them. So we basically build our radars, install them with every single loop covered, even though you may only be using 1 or 2.